It's time for marching with Matsimus. Hello folks, Matsimus here with you today. Thank you for joining me. We are doing another marching with Matsimus. And me and Tank, the beast that he is, have come out into the coulee and we're just going to do a bit of a walk, trying to get some more fitness going here. We're coming right into the coulee of nearby where I live. The great thing with my town, guys, is I have the coulees, or what's otherwise known as a valley, I guess. Tank, come here, bud, you caught up. Going downhill, he struggles. The great thing is we have access to coulees, these valley bottoms all the time, and as you can see, some of them are pretty gnarly, like you can see them there. So, but looks like we're coming across some deer right now. Some interesting formations of deer in the distance. Anyway guys, what I thought I'd do for today's marching with Matsimus is discuss a little bit about my old military webbing and how I pack my kit. I've had a few questions before in regards to the type of equipment that I pack and the kind of rucksack I have and the webbing I have and such. Pardon me, I'm going to spit. Whew. These hills are not fun. Anyway, and a number of those questions have actually come from the Army cadets. And I actually help volunteer train Army cadets on a regular basis. And it's a lot of fun, kind of temporarily, woo, there we go, we're on some flat ground now, pal. Kind of temporarily fill that void whilst I wait to get into the Canadian Reserves, which is taking its sweet ass time. Now, the thing that brought this up to me was I met an officer cadet who's a good friend of mine and probably soon to be my boss in the near future from the Reserves, who also helps out the Army cadets, and he showed me his kit. Now his kit is very different to my kit. This is, well, the webbing is ex-British Army issue. As you're all aware, we've changed from DPM to MTP now. Disruptive pattern material to multicam terrain pattern, which honestly I'm kind of glad I never got into MTP. It was just more stuff to hand back in, but I digress. Yeah, let's take a seat over here for a second in this lovely snow. So yeah, I met this, I was talking to my friend, the second lieutenant here, from the Artillery Reserves, and he basically said, I really, I'm confused as to why the Canadian Armed Forces supplied us with a chest rig that really just wasn't very compatible with the needs of the Armed Forces today. Well, the thing is, there's a couple of reasons I think why they chose that particular webbing. This kind of kit was kind of issued. Tank, sit down, pal. Like, what are you doing? Oh, he's in the snow, he's in his comfort zone. My ass is cold right now. But anyway, so I think the chest rigs were kind of handed out to people for the Afghanistan area. We're doing foot patrols. Most of the time we're either in vehicles and mounted up, or if we're dismounted, we're probably going to be just using our own gear anyway, for the most part. Now, it's interesting to see this chest rig because it only carries 4 magazines, single magazine pouches, which was shocking to me, really shocking. So what I thought I'd do is we do a bit of review of my kit that I was issued in the British Army, and clearly I don't have the full equipment I had when I was in the British Army, but I still have my webbing, I still have the rucksack, which a number of you have been asking questions about what make it is and how it works, how good is it. I'll tell you this, it's fantastic. But yeah, it kind of made me sort of debate as to which webbing is better, the chest rig of the Canadian Armed Forces or the British Army issued webbing that we use. Now it's called PLCE, which is personal load carrying equipment, which is the British Army issue stuff I'm wearing underneath here right now, which we're going to go over in a second. And I've loved it ever since I got issued at day 1 in basic training. At 16 years old, I fell in love with it. Look at this. Look at this. Tank, buddy, quit it. So let's just have a kind of a look over my webbing and see the kind of kit that I pack for when helping out mostly with the Army cadets, because that's what I use it for. I don't really use it for anything else. I'm not going into combat, I'm not serving right now, but it is so handy to have when going out on exercises or hunting, camping even if you wanted to. I know I get some weird looks when I go on hikes and stuff with this gear on, because they think, what the hell is this guy doing with his military equipment on, but they just don't get it, and that's fine. My military fitness needs to be increased, ready to eventually get into the Canadian Armed Forces, and it's just nice to have that equipment I was issued in the past to work with it on. So let's go over the kit, shall we? Okay, British Army PLCE webbing. Let's go over it really basically then, just so you can kind of have an idea of what's going on with this kind of setup. This stuff was issued to me at basic training. Luckily I was allowed to keep it since I left. I had a lot of spares, so I was allowed to keep it as I kind of went on with my career and left. So we have basic yoke in the middle here. The padding is very soft on the shoulders. It's not really much there, but it's enough to get you by. So the yoke comes with 6 straps that are latch and attach to each of these different pouches here. I'll go over the pouches themselves, going from the left: ammunition, utility by 4, and 1 water, which is just here, and another ammunition. Really nice setup, guys, really comfortable. Allows you to do a lot of crawling, and it's not sort of restrictive at the front of you with the chest rig and stuff, which I always really enjoyed, because to be honest with you, I've never been a massive fan of the chest rigs. So going from the left, ammunition, 3 magazines in each. Obviously, being that I would camp and hike, they would not have ammunition in. I'll go over what was inside them in a little bit here. Utility, water, utility being just bits and pieces that you need to do your everyday mission. Our ammunition again, and then a frog bayonet, which unfortunately is not inside here. It's in my rucksack because I didn't really want to be seen. Tank's kind of just chilling over in the corner here with my rucksack tethered. He's been rolling in the snow and he's kind of getting a little antsy, aren't you, bud? Tank, hey, Tank, Tank. He's doing his own thing. So yeah, there's the kind of basic setup. It is really nice and adjustable. Like I said, the yoke here, it's attached to 6 different straps, 4 to the rear and 2 to the front, all adjustable. I've actually silenced mine very roughly. Straps flapping around all over the place, so we've put some tape around there. It's kind of standard. Most people tend to try and keep their kit a little bit more quiet than usual. However, I didn't wrap it around the final straps here, because if I did want to adjust, I still have the ability to just pull it off and off I go. So what tends to happen in the British Army when you're issued this gear back in the day is you kind of go on what is most important to you as by the hand that you utilise. I'm right-handed, so most important to me obviously is going to be ammunition, and that's going to be standard for both left and right sides. What we then go on from is what's more important next for ammunition. Well, it's water. Water is most important. What you tend to have is your ammunition here so that you can pull them out, put them into your rifle. And then obviously next is going to be your water. Water is it's going to allow you to stay hydrated and keep you fighting. So water is extremely important. Next, 3 are kind of subjective. What, for the most part, you tend to have in here is the equipment and the stuff that you need to utilize to either be a section commander, spare ammunition, spare grenades, whatever else it may be. Second most important stuff, third most important stuff, other than ammunition and water, is stuff that allows you to either win the firefight or command your section, or anything else that's really important to the mission at hand. Next is going to be your food. Now, this is nice because it is nicely in line with the 6 o'clock position of your yoke right behind you, not in your way, not getting in your way, and also allows you to balance that heavy weight, because this is quite heavy, guys, obviously with the 2 mess tins inside and potential hexamin blocks to cook your food. There's a lot of weight there along with the food inside there, so it's nice to have it centralized in your back. And finally, this is what I call basically the Mars bar bag. We tended to put all the gear that we don't utilize, or things that make your life a little bit more easy. You can have things like, I guess, mine notification kits. You kind of, you can put your little notification flags where there's a mine there, or tent pegs, bungees, all that sort of stuff that allows you to make your life a little bit more easy. You can just put model making kits in there, your notebook and pen, all that good stuff. But again, you can put more ammunition here if you needed to, and that's subjective to all of these pouches. You can put a crap load of ammo in all of these pouches, guys. They don't look that big, they are fairly big. And then obviously on your left side, you're going to have some more ammunition. So in each pouch, there's 3 magazines in each, which gives you a total of 12. As I said before, it's very customizable and very personal to the soldier at hand. You notice here I have our magazine chargers. They were just left on there, never really taken them off. You're probably wondering why the hell do you have mag chargers, Matsimus? You're not fighting any wars anymore. Well, that is completely true, but it's nice to have them if in the future I needed them. As I said before, this is the bayonet holder here, the frog bayonet holder, so your sheath can go inside there. It is inside my rucksack at the moment. Maybe I'll show you a little bit later on here. And I tend to have a bungee to hold it in place when I was doing patrols and such, just to kind of keep it in place there. So, as I said before, I'm not really in the military anymore, but this kind of gear is fantastic, guys, because it'll be utilized for everything from hiking to camping, and for me, most primarily, is helping out the Army cadets. So what do I pack in my gear? Well, let's go over it real quick. So, for me, most importantly, obviously in a combat environment, it's going to be ammunition, but in this kind of environment, where we're in the kind of hills and the foothills with deer and wildlife and all that good stuff, I want to be keeping this to hand, and this is very, very important in the beautiful wilderness of southern Alberta, or any parts of Alberta, is bear spray. And as you can see, this bear looks like it's just had a meal with blood in its mouth, but this is really important, guys. Make sure that if you ever use this stuff, it does have an expiration date, so try and make sure you keep an eye on that. If you have some old stuff, those of you who live in North America, make sure it's still in date and all that good stuff. So that's always to hand. When I'm going out hikes and stuff with the cadets, it's always important to be aware of bear attacks and looking after the cadets, and even obviously myself. So if I can protect myself or others with this stuff, then I'm going to utilize that first. And as I'm right-handed, that's the first pouch that I'm going to be keeping it in, because it keeps it nice and safe and easily accessible. So next pouch then, I can't even remember myself. Oh, okay, so inside here we got some ooh, they've fallen out. Let's try and not make them fall out. Let's put them back in there. So we have little miniature glow sticks, which are really handy for marking out hazards or even good places to go or bad places to go at night when you're tenting and stuff. Obviously a flashlight was given to me by as a gift here with the camouflage. I tend to not buy things with camouflage on them, but a very powerful LED torch, not the mag lights. Mag lights suck balls. And finally some bear bangers, again really handy to have to scare away bears if you've never seen them before. They're really handy bits of kit. They're also really good for scaring cadets and when we're doing training exercises and stuff, so really handy bit of kit to have. So these are kind of things that help me be a lot more safe when I'm going out on hikes and stuff. So you're probably wondering what's the next most important thing. Well, obviously water is the most important thing other than ammunition, I would say, when you're a foot soldier or patrolling. So I keep my water bottle in here. It is a standard issue Osprey water bottle that can hold 1 litre. Normally you fill this to the very brim to silence your kit. Mine's not very silent right now. Mine does not have the NBC lid. It's a standard lid which secures my lid. Really big spout for drinking a lot of water if you need it. And inside there at the bottom is my mug, which had a crack in it, so I've used some hardcore duct tape there to try and seal it up. And my water bottle for me always goes in upside down, so if it does leak, it at least leaves a little bit of water in your mug there, so that if you pull over after a patrol and your water bottle was leaking, it'll save a little bit of water in your mug there. But also it's just nice to, when you pull it out, you can literally just pull it out and it's ready to go, instead of pulling it out, trying to do some funky twisting thing to get it the right way up and drink it. That's my personal preference. Everybody has their own kind of way. As you can see here, I put a bungee around the side. Back in the day, as you can see, it's been there so long, it's still got the dust from back in the day here. It was good for putting scrim and all this sort of heavy, thick grass in here. In fact, this is the exact kind of stuff I'd be utilizing if I was in that kind of terrain. I'd be placing this stuff, you know, kind of shoving it in down the back here, making it all nice and neat and tucked away to camouflage my kits. That's what that's there for. Next pouch is, I said, things that make your mission or your command a lot better. This is going to be me, first aid kit, red siloon for anything that's extremely dangerous, and my notebook and pen kit, which is going to have all my command notebooks and all that sort of stuff inside there. So yeah, no, not really anything major. Basically things that I can help command and coordinate the cadets, or if I'm going on a camping trip, I can sort of put maps or any kind of notes I have when I'm going on a hike, or even my camera and such. Next is going to be food. Like I said before, right behind all the heavy weights, there's a lot of weight here. So we've got a Hexamin stove, which actually can cook these rations wherever I want them to be cooked. Knife, fork and spoon tucked in the corner here, and 2 mess tins, one inside the other, one for either washing or whatever else you need to do for, and one for eating. And the rations are inside there, very heavy, and I put some MREs in there, which I'm not going to get out because they're all packed in nice and tight. So food, and then finally what I used to, as I said before, things that make your life a little easier, otherwise known as the Mars bar utility pouch. We used to put Mars bars in there to try and keep your morale up when you're on exercise. What I tend to put in here, once I figure out this clasp again, so come on, bugger. So these pouches are interesting, guys. There's the 3 ways you to secure these. There's a Velcro strap underneath here, which allows you to secure it to this Velcro patch here. This patch can actually be silenced, as you can see here. It's got a kind of a silencing strip over the top so that you don't have to use the every time you rip it open. There's also this, obviously the standard catch. Now what tends to happen when you first get issued these is people think, oh, you just put this on like that and then slip that in like that. Yeah, no. As soon as you catch something, well, it's not going to do it for me now, I can guarantee it. But normally, this actually can easily, as you can see, easily pops off. So what you tend to do is insert this lanyard first, and then place this one in to tighten it in place. Tap it all tight, and it's quite difficult to pull open then. So that's our food pouch. Next one is going to be, as I said, things that make your life a little easier. And inside here, I have all sorts of bits and pieces. There's all sorts of stuff. I've got safety tape to guide for anything that's marked as hazardous or dangerous. I've got, these things are really handy, the kind of kit ties, you can put all sorts of stuff on there. I've got a zip tie for anything with my kits that are broken. This is kind of a little wash bag to allow me to do any washing I want to do. I've got a little wash kit somewhere hidden in the back here. Waterproof bagging to waterproof my kit. Electrical tape, very handy for all sorts of kit here. This is my miniature wash kit in the bottom here, along with all sorts of other little survival gizmos and gadgets and all sorts of stuff there. And then a little strap here, which is Velcro to the top for a tourniquet. This is for my own personal emergency use. paracord, which is again really handy to have, and at the bottom there's also a big pile of bungees. So really nothing particularly interesting in terms of military gear. It's all sort of stuff that, as I said, kind of makes my life a little easier when I'm going out on exercising and such. And finally, my other ammunition pouches, which normally would be most important. He's seen the goose. Where are they, bud? Where the goose? He's so bored. He's like, Dad, let's go for a walk. Come on, let's go. And then in here I've got gloves. I'm not going to open it because they just explode. And I got some other sort of warm gear inside here. So I think it's a toque and all. So yeah, there's my gear, guys. Nothing really too fancy. Enough to get me by anyway for what I need, which is nice to have, because at the end of the day, if I can make my life a little bit easier when going on patrols and such with the cadets, then I'm going to do so. So let's go back on our hike. We'll talk about the bag another day, and we'll kind of go over the stuff I have in my bag another day. And tank's really antsy to go on the rest of our walks. Let's keep our marching with Matsimus rolling. So guys, that's the basic layout I have for my gear. Nothing particularly fancy, but enough to get me by to do hikes and walks and camping and such. I tend to not wear it when I'm just going for a walk with the dog. I mean, today's a little bit of an exception, but it's just really nice to have that gear to, you know, get by on a hike or a walk or anything like that. And it also just, you know, made me wonder, like, I wonder why the Canadian Forces gear is kind of not, I guess, customizable, because from what I was told, is the basic issued chest rig for the Canadian Armed Forces, it's not MOL, i.e. M-O-L-E-E. I can't remember exactly what it stands for, modular something, but it allows you to, you know, attach your own pouches and clips and whatever else you want to your gear, which sadly for their particular chest rig they cannot, which with this you can't really so much either, but it does allow you to switch pouches out. So if you wanted to just fill this thing with, you know, 8 bloody ammunition pouches, you could do so, which is your own choice. But sadly, the Canadian Armed Forces don't have that. And with me going into the reserves, I find that a little concerning that we don't have the ability to choose our own gear and choose our own options. So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Speaking of panning out, let's have a look where we are right now. This looks like skunk territory. Look at that, tank. That's a nice ditch for you to go jumping around in it, but no, you're not going inside that ditch. He wants to go in it so bad. Come on, bud, let's go. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. So yeah, I'm still trying to keep up with my army fitness, guys. As you can see, it gets a lot harder now. I've noticed now with having a kid and full-time job and such, with the shift work, it just becomes a lot more difficult to be able to, you know, do fitness. Not even just, you know, this kind of fitness, which is quite technical. I mean, I'm talking about putting on gear and, you know, going into the coulees and hopefully the weather's good, and, you know, you come across creatures in this wildlife, pardon me, in this woodland and these coulees, and you get little bloody skunks and porcupines, and it's just not a good time. So it's, you know, it's not something that I particularly try and do often, but it is something that's rewarding for both me and Tank, because I love the outdoors. I love being outside, and I'm sure you guys, some of you guys do too. But at the same instance, I have no interest in going to the gym so much anymore either. It's hard. It's fucking hard. And it's also embarrassing because I tell myself, like, why are you not going to the gym right now? Like, you have every chance to go and you're not going. It's like, I expect to see Shia LaBeouf like, do it! Just do it! But you know, I just don't have that motivation anymore. It's kind of sad. And I think what's even more sad is it's gone because I've been waiting so long for the military and the reserves that it's killing me. Like, literally killing me, because I'm being lazy and I'm not looking after my body as much. And I miss that military motivation that I had 2-3 years ago to say, hey, get off your ass, go do something. I still have it, just not as much. I mean, listen to my sorry ass. I'm breathing out my backside right now. Let's have a look at the view, shall we? You've seen this view a few times before, but the river's frozen. Let's go take a look at the river, shall we? So yeah, it's just hard. It's a kind of a bitter pill to swallow, you know, not being able to have that motivation anymore. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm growing up, but I don't find that as an excuse. And you know, as humans, we like to make excuses up for our actions. And well, you know, I'm sick this week, I'll recover and then go. That was a good one. I've been so sick the last few weeks, I've been making up excuses. I'll go to the gym when I'm better. I'll go to the gym when I'm better. Yeah, you will. Well, you're better now, so why are you not at the gym? So today was kind of an epiphany. I was like, get out, do something. Take the dog for a walk. He was bugging me to go for a walk for a while too. And the weather's starting to get nice now. It's starting to turn into spring a bit here. I'm not really getting much more snow. This is kind of leftover snow we have now here. And I'm just going to make the most of, you know, being young, because when I'm older, I ain't going to be able to do this kind of stuff. By the way, this jacket makes me look fat. I'm not fat. Okay, maybe it makes me a little chubbier looking, but you know, just so you're wondering, you're probably like, Matsimus, you fat bugger. It's not me, it's the jacket. I blame the jacket, guys. Let's go and have a look at the river, shall we? Now, normally on this river, guys, a lot further down, I don't think it's up this way, we have a lot of pelicans. Hundreds of pelicans, actually, that tend to float around on the streams and such, and they kind of hide down here. Ooh, here we go. Beautiful. There's the river for you, fellas and girls, if you're watching. That is the river of my town. Most of it's frozen, but not all of it. I can tell you this much, I wouldn't be going over it right now. But yeah, what tends to happen here is the summer, guys, is we have a lot of people who come tubing. So we jump on a tube, as you guys in Canada say, a tube. We come tubing down here, and we get the floaties, and jump on the river and come floating down the river. Now, I've never actually done it, because I know I've just never really had the inkling to do it. I wouldn't mind trying it, though. It would be a bit of a laugh, you know, going down the stream. Nice hot day, maybe with a beer. Or a beer, as you North Americans say. But yeah, it's not a fast-flowing river. It's enough to get you down the stream pretty quick. What tends to happen is people come up this way, I think maybe a little further upstream. They jump on their floaties and head down the river, and they actually head down towards the railway bridge down there. There's a kind of a takeoff where you can kind of get back off again. It's just really nice. So yeah. Anyway, guys, let's head back up the hill, shall we, and start getting ready to head home, because I'm hungry and it's curry night tonight. Tank. Bye. What you finding? Hey, Tank. Well, guys, to finish off this video, I want to do a bit of a challenge for myself, and it's kind of, before I take on this challenge, I kind of had a bit of an epiphany, so to speak. I've been very, very blessed to have such a fantastic following for my YouTube channel. I can't thank you enough. I really can't. I think I've been very lucky to have the support base that I have for my channel. As I'm coming very close to 20,000 subscribers, I kind of look at this hill as what my YouTube channel is. I mean, the top here being where I've got, where I want to be, which is the, you know, up to 20,000, and I couldn't have got there without you. So as I take on this hill home, which is not exactly the easiest hill in the world, you can follow me up. I want to dedicate this one to you, and you can watch me die as I go up, because I am going to die as I go up. So my struggles right now are in complete appreciation and thanks towards you guys and my channel. So here we go, Tank, let's do this. Hopefully the battery doesn't run out, or the storage before I get to the top, and this is all the way up to the top of the hill to say that I'm done. So thank you all for helping with this channel, and here we go. We're going to take on this hill and see how we do. Okay, bud, let's go. Keep going, buddy. Come on. Okay, so we're not even a fifth of the way up yet. I'm trying to jog it out, but it's becoming very difficult to do. Even the dog's breathing heavy. Come on, bud. It's nearly like vertical hill climbing. Just try and scissor a little bit to the right. Come on, bud. Keep going. I'm dying here, guys. Okay. Not gonna lie, I'm dying. This gear is a lot heavier than I thought it was gonna be. Come on, man. Keep going. Freezing out my hoop. Nearly there, pal. Nearly there. So sadly, guys, my phone ran out of freaking storage coming out the way, so that kind of sucks. But we did get there in the end, me and the puppy. So that was dedicated towards you all. Thank you so much for your support. I would not be here where I am on my YouTube channel without you all, so thank you. Hopefully you're here for the future. Thank you so much for joining me today. For Martin with Matsimus and Tank, and I hope to see you in the future. Please leave a like, a comment, all the best, and have a great day. Bye bye. Don't you poor me. See you guys.